Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This plan with me is a good one. I really love the way that this turned out. This is the week of June 20th through the 26th. I'm using the bowling themed kit from PlannerPixieCo called Perfect Game. I know a ton of shops used this art. I actually, when she initially released this, I didn't buy it, even though I was obsessed with it, and I love the colors. I love every version that any shop did. They all looked amazing, but I didn't end up buying any initially because I couldn't even tell you the last time that I went bowling. But one time, one day this week, my boyfriend randomly wanted to go bowling because we were already out. And I was like, let's do it then. Because he had been talking about it, a little bit here and there. He just would randomly say he wanted to go bowling. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. It'll give me the perfect excuse to use this kit. And, of course, he just thought that was funny and probably made fun of me for it. But whatever. It gave me a chance to use this kit. And the spread turned out being one of my absolute favorites. It's so good. And the foil pairing from PlannerPixieCo, top tier, honestly. I believe these are the retro underlays, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm sorry if you heard my AC just turn on. I thought I did turn it off, but for some reason it popped on again. So, anyway, I believe these are the retro underlays from PlannerPixieCo. I've always loved these underlays, but I was like, those are just super, crazy and chaotic, and I feel like, at least for, my mindset, I was like, those are such, specific, underlays. They need the perfect kit for them, and this kit just felt perfect because it reminds me of, the old, arcade type, flooring or whatever, which I swear it bowling alley has an old style arcade type thing. So I don't know, it went perfectly in my mind, and I love the way that it looks. I think that it was the perfect choice. And then I also used I believe this is star 2. It's either star 1 or 2. She has full filled in stars, and then she has the star outlines, which are what I used. I want to say the outlines are star 2, but I used the star bottom washi and header overlays. Super cute, and I think with them being the outline, it makes them kind of simple too, but just enough to add a little bit more foil. This was a build your own bundle that I did with these. So in that you get 2 sheets of underlays. So I of course did the retro underlays. You get a sheet of the line overlays in the matching foil that you choose. And glitter header overlays, washi overlays, and then icons, scripts, and date numbers. So I did this all in the pink tie-dye foil, which was just so good. It's so perfect. I love that foil so much. But it's got a pink, silver, orange. It's got kind of a mix of those colors throughout it. So I just thought it went perfectly with this kit, and I'm so glad that I went with that. I mainly picked that because I was looking through some of my old PlannerPixieCo freebies, and I saw that tie-dye in it, and I just thought that would be fun, so I just went with it, and I ordered a bunch of it. I ordered the foil bundle, so I got a bunch of it during her anniversary sale. No regrets at all. It looks amazing. So if you guys plan on using this kit if you haven't used it yet. Absolutely, the pink tie-dye is perfect with this kit. I really think any of the tie-dyes would be fun, because I think she has a pink, purple, and blue tie-dye, and there is pink, purple, and blue in this kit, at least from this version, but I think a lot of the shops used like the same colors and stuff, or at least similar colors. And I mean, either way, throughout like the art itself, even if it's not one of the core colors, the art itself has like pink, purple, and blue. So I think any of the tie-dyes would be perfect for this kit or this art in general. So yeah. Really quick, I want to mention I still don't know where my tweezers are. I just filmed this like yesterday or the day before. I don't know where my tweezers are right now, so I did like put all the stickers in just by hand, so hopefully that's not too much of a bother to anyone. But yeah, and on that last box on Tuesday, you'll see I didn't use an underlay because surprisingly this week I actually had multiple chances to use extenders, and I never do extenders. Like, I don't do much, and usually, like, there are always some things that I leave out in certain days if I'm just like, that's not very important, or I don't want to mark that, whatever. You know, I usually condense it into the 2 boxes, but like some of these days I had so much marked that I was like, well, dang, I can use an extender. And so I used 3 extenders this week, and I got to use literally every box that came in the kit. Because there was a tall box, and then there were 11 full boxes. And I literally used 11 full boxes with all of the extenders and everything that I used. And on Tuesday, I apparently did so much because I used like a full extender that day, as well as one of the extenders, one of the little box extenders that PlannerPixieCo includes in her kits. So there's just a whole lot going on this week, but I love the way that it looks. This is one of, if not maybe even my favorite spread so far this year. It's definitely one of them. And here in the sidebar, I guess we can just kind of kick off into the sidebar now. I am using one of my stickers that I made. This is the multicolor currently reading sticker, perfect for the sidebar. I mean, it can fit, you know, in a regular day, but it is like a bigger box, so it's perfect for the sidebar. I have currently reading and currently watching in my shop, which my shop will now always be linked down below, and I'm really excited to start selling planner stickers to you guys. So I have those, the currently reading. I have currently watching, which look exactly the same. Both of them right now just come in the multicolor sheet. If you guys want like more options, let me know. But I really love the way that those look. And I also have one kit in my shop, one fall, like autumn inspired kit. So far, I just opened up my shop this past Friday, so not much is in there yet, but I will be bringing plenty of things soon. So yeah, definitely check my shop out. I will, of course, have it linked down below, and I'll probably have like a little code or something in my description box, like just permanently, so anyone that finds my shop through like watching my videos can get a little discount. I think that could be fun. But yeah, so let's just get into the day by day. So I guess I should maybe also mention what I actually put in the sidebar. So I just used some of the deco. I used the little icy cup, and I just put Take No Shit from Planet Hannah there, just because I had it from a freebie in this foil, and I didn't really have anything else to put there, so I just put that. And then I also used the little shoes deco in the currently reading box and marked that I was currently reading The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Those were the 2 audiobooks that I listened to this week. So first off, on Monday, I marked planning. I was still kind of doing some spreads that I wasn't filming or anything. They were just ones that I was kind of doing on my own to try and help myself catch up a little bit. So this was the kit Pink Lemonade, which I haven't shared or anything. That kit was a mess. Like, my silhouette miscut that one so bad, but I still just used it because I didn't want to reprint it or whatever. So I still used it, but that was rough. But I did that night, and then while doing that, my boyfriend and I also binged God's Favorite Idiot, which is just like a random fun show on Netflix with Melissa McCarthy and her husband. I don't know her husband's name, I'm sorry, but he's like the main guy in it, and it was really funny. It was a very bingeable show. Like, we watched the entire show that night, so if you're just looking for something like easy to watch that's just kind of entertaining, you don't have to really put much thought into it, give that one a try. If you like Melissa McCarthy and like the type of things that she's in, I think you might like it. And then because we stayed up watching that, we ended up pulling an all-nighter, so that was great. I did some laundry that morning, and then this day I started the audiobook for The Hunger Games. It was a reread. I have read the entire Hunger Games series, but I was like buddy reading it with someone, so at this point I was reading The Hunger Games, and this was the day that I started it. If anyone is wondering if those books like stand up, like if you haven't read them and you're still kind of wanting to, or even if you have read them and are thinking about rereading them but aren't sure if you'll still like them as much, personally, I've read them a few times and I still think they're just as amazing every time I read them. I have such a love for that series. So, yeah, I still absolutely recommend them. The next thing that I marked was F This. I love Planahana's, what's it called? Sassy scripts in font 2, specifically if there's like an I or a J, because it says F This, but the I has a little heart, so I don't know what it is about that, but I love any of like her sassy scripts with font 2. If it has a little heart in it, I love it. But I used that to mark that I was printing labels for some candles, and I was having a time with it. Like, I did multiple sheets, and I think I ended up printing like 6 sheets of these stickers, and like 2 of them misprinted or something, which was just so annoying because they were like, the labels used like a lot of ink. Like, they were full labels, so I wasted so much ink with those, and it was just really annoying. So yeah, that was fun for sure. But then that day I also made no-bake cheesecake, which really was not, it was not great. I didn't love it. I don't know if I just didn't do it well or if it's just not good, but I did not care for it. And then for dinner, I made some hamburger helper, and I did some reading this night. I was reading The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, which is like just a YA novel, young adult, sorry. I forget that people don't always know what YA is. It just stands for young adult, if you ever hear me say that. I haven't finished that book. I've just been, like, since February, since we started moving, I've just been, like, in a rut with my reading. I have not like, I've been in the mood, like, wanting to read, and I start things, but I have not finished a lot of things this year, which is unfortunate, because they're not things that I'm not enjoying. My attention span is just out of here. Like, attention span is gone. It's not in the building anymore. So, yeah, I haven't finished that book, even though I was enjoying it. And then that night I watched some Lost. On to Tuesday, the first thing that I marked was watching Lost as well. So that most likely means that my boyfriend and I stayed up really late watching it. I had some playtime with Bucky. I did dishes. I had a YouTube binge. I did some printing and cutting. This might have been like my own kits. I'm not sure. Any that I was working on at this point, I haven't put in my shop, because they were like summary ones, and I don't know. It didn't happen. So it was either that, or I might have been doing like some of my printables. I actually think at this point I was working on a bunch of the printables for like June and July. I think is what that was that day. And then this day I also finally shipped candles for Celestia Book Crate. With moving and everything, I got those out to her a lot later than I wanted to. But this day, they finally got done. They were out of my hands. They were to the post office, and I could just kind of take a breather because I was so done with those candles. Honestly, like, they were really good, and I loved how they turned out, but I was so done with them. So, as kind of a little reward for finally getting those done, since my boyfriend and I were out already, we decided to go on a little lunch date. We went to a place called Tamales, which is a Mexican food place, and it was pretty good. Not my ultimate favorite, but it was good. I mean, it was Mexican food. And then we went to an interview for my boyfriend. He had a job interview that day. I obviously didn't go in. I just stayed in the car and talked to my mom on the phone. But he went in that day, and he did actually get the job. He didn't stay there for long because it wasn't a great work environment. He was not very happy working there. He has since got another job, but it was exciting at the time that he had gotten the job. And then afterwards, we went to this used bookstore called the Bookworm in Little Rock, because that was where everything was at. So, yeah, we went there, and I picked up a couple of books. I got the second Outlander book and a book called The Starless Crown or something like that. I haven't read it yet, but I found those there. Then the next thing that I marked was that I was a grumpy beach because we went to Wendy's, and I knew that they had started like the strawberry Frosty, which is why we went, because my boyfriend wanted to try it. And personally, I really love getting their chicken nuggets, and maybe to some people this will be weird, but I really like dipping my chicken nuggets in the vanilla Frosty, because it's kind of like, if people like dipping like fries into ice cream. So I tried it one time where I was like, let me just see if this like is good or if this is really weird. And I tried it, and I'm just like kind of hooked on it. But it's not good with any other Frosty, like only the vanilla Frosty. And they replaced the vanilla Frosty with the strawberry Frosty, and I'm so annoyed. Like, I guess the vanilla probably isn't as popular, but like, I don't like their chocolate Frosty, and I didn't like the strawberry Frosty. So now I'm just kind of SOL. So yeah, I was a little bit upset by that. So I had to put that in my planner. Then we went to this place called Strange Magic Gems. which is a place that we've, like, driven by a few times, and we kept saying, like, oh, let's go there, let's go there. But finally, we went this day, since we were just kind of out and about doing things. So we finally went, and it was cool, and I got, like, this cool, a selenite? Is that the right thing? I don't know. It's this cool, like, white crystal. So I got that there. And then I did some filming. I filmed my Adventure Awaits spread, which is a really cute spread. I love that one. And then I watched some more Lost this night, which, yes, I know that I watched it, like, at night, but it's kind of redundant that I put it in twice this day, but whatever. One of them's under an extender, so it's not a big deal. On to Wednesday, the first thing that I marked was that I was in my feelings because I had some dreams about my pets, the two that have passed. So they weren't even, like, bad dreams. It was just, you know, they were alive, and I woke up and I, you know, knew that they weren't anymore. So it was just kind of made, you know, it made me sad, just kind of thinking about them. So I was in my feelings that morning. And then I marked sleeping in, so, you know, that was all kind of together. So I slept in that day. Then I got some cleaning done. I did some laundry, and I watched YouTube. So I guess I slept in, and then I had a productive day, so not too bad. Okay, I really, really hate when, like, something pops up on my phone, and when I, like, excuse it or whatever, the recording that I was just working on just completely deletes. So I was already midway through Friday, and it just deleted all of that. So let's jump back to Thursday again. Hopefully I don't repeat anything, but I think it deleted all of that from Thursday. So on Thursday, my boyfriend had gone fishing this morning, so he brought home McDonald's breakfast. I didn't mark it, but I was up early that morning because he, you know, came home early and brought home breakfast. And since I was up early, I took a nap because this girl does not function early in the morning. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But funny thing is that now my boyfriend starts work, some days at 3 a.m., some at 5. So now I do kind of function in the morning, but it's not because I woke up early. It's because I woke up late in the evening and stayed up all night. But that's neither here nor there. So I did some filming this day. I did the base for Wildflower. I had a YouTube binge. I did some planning. I just went back and, like, filled out some old spreads that still needed things written in. For dinner, we had pizza, and then we watched more Lost. On to Friday, the first thing that I marked was bad dreams. It was more pet dreams, more dreams about Turk and Raja. So I had woken up, like, with my face just, like, completely wet, like I'd been crying in my sleep, because the thing was that even in my sleep, like, even though in the dreams themselves my animals were alive still, like, I, in my dreams, knew that they weren't actually. So it was making me really sad. And specifically what was making me really sad, at least, like, this night, was that I had a dream that my cat Raja, who's the one that passed away, was still alive and was, like, hanging out with my cat now, Bucky. Because we got Bucky, I think like 2 years, 3 years, 3 years since Raja has passed. So, it will be 3 years this year. So we got him around 2 years since Raja had passed, and in this dream, you know, they were hanging out together and Raja was alive, and it's made me sad a few times. Like, I think about it a lot. Like, I wish Raja had been alive to meet Bucky, because I wish they would have gotten to hang out. But yeah, it just hit hard that night, or that morning, I guess, once I woke up and was actually thinking about it. But then I marked that I did some work. I was working on a kit that I have not posted in my shop. It won't be posted in my shop, at least not anytime this year. It was like summer art, so maybe next year, but either way, I was working on it this day. Then my boyfriend and I went and got lunch at this place called I Heart Mac and Cheese, which we had seen like a few days before, and we really wanted to try it. It was good. It wasn't anything like super special. I mean, it was literally just like a mac and cheese place. But it was pretty good, and I would go again, but it wasn't anything like crazy special. But afterwards we went to Hobby Lobby because they were in like the same parking lot, and I think I just got crochet stuff. This might have been the day that I also got like this little basket set that I use for like some of my planner and journaling stuff. I came home and did some crochet. I started a tote bag that I made for myself this day. I actually made 2 of them, but you know, this day I started on one of them, and I really like them. Let me know if you guys are like interested in like crochet things, because I've thought about possibly like selling different crochet projects in my shop, but I'm not sure if that's like something that anyone would actually be interested in. Just because I know, like, you know, crocheted items or like knit type items are very like specific to certain people. Like, not everyone is into that style of like clothing or bags, accessories, whatever. But let me know if you guys would be interested, and that's definitely something that I could think about doing. But yeah, so this day I started on a tote bag for myself, and then we of course watched more Lost this night. On to Saturday. This morning my boyfriend had gone fishing again, so he picked up Chick-fil-A for breakfast, which this was, I think, both of our first time getting Chick-fil-A breakfast. It was good. Chick-fil-A is always good. And then, so the first thing actually this day was that we finished Lost. Like, we finished the show entirely. I will admit it got like less good as the seasons went on, but I still, as a whole, really enjoyed the show, and I feel such like a huge accomplishment, like having finished the entire show. But I marked it lower down because I wanted it to be like seen. I didn't want to hide it under the extender. But that was technically the first thing that happened this day. And then he picked up breakfast after fishing, and we went to a gun and knife show that he had been like seeing things for and wanted to check out. Didn't get anything, but it was still interesting to check out. And then afterwards, because it wasn't really everything he had hoped it would be, or I guess it was just like he didn't have the money to buy like a gun or anything. So this was the day that he ended up being like, hey, like, or no, I think I actually was like, you want to go bowling? Because he had mentioned it before, that he had been wanting to go bowling. And so, like, while we were driving home, I looked up if there were any bowling alleys, you know, near where we were at. And I was like, you want to go bowling? There's one, like, I think it was like 15 minutes away or something. And so we ended up going on a little spontaneous bowling date, which again, I marked lower down because I wanted that to be seen, especially since this entire kit is a bowling kit. And then afterwards, we went to Walmart, mainly because I needed to get ink for my printer, but I think we ended up picking up a couple other random things. And then on our way home from Walmart, we ended up seeing, like, a little vendor pop-up thing. So there were a bunch of different, like, not a bunch, there were, like, a couple different tents with, like, people there selling their, like, handmade crafts and stuff. So that was kind of cool. Then I listened to more of the Hunger Games, and I guess I finished it this day. Or maybe I finished it the next day, but the next day I mark starting a new audiobook. So I finished it either Saturday or Sunday. I took a nap this day after cleaning the house, which I marked after nap just because of the way that it fit in the labels. But I cleaned the house this day, and then I took a nap. Then I did some more crochet, worked on my bag some more, and I ended up taking some Tylenol because I had a really bad backache. On to Sunday, I marked sleeping in. Then I worked on my bag some more. We got Burger King for lunch. And then this day I started Catching Fire, which, again, like I said, was a reread, which might be, I think Catching Fire might be my favorite, but honestly, I'm not really sure. I just kind of love the series as a whole. But yeah, I started Catching Fire this day. It just, like, started pouring this day out of nowhere, so I marked sudden pouring. Then we got Panda Express for dinner, and then I did the voiceover for Adventure Awaits. So that is it for this spread. I hope you guys love it. I'm going to have to re-edit some of these clips to make them go a little slower because I'm talking way past the clips that I have done already. But yeah, be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And subscribe if you want to see more, and check the description down below for all of my links. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!